அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். என் பேர் மெய்யப்பா மாணிக்கம். I'm from Sharjah, Malaysia. So welcome to Picnic Panic Series 29, Colors of Life. Alright. So most of you would know that in the Picnic Panic series last year around March around April. So because of the lockdown, the MCO and coronavirus and stuff. So with that, we started with a public speaking workshop for 3 series. Then we went on for a motivational speech. Then from 5th series, நிறைய பேர் சொன்னாங்க, okay, let's get எக்ஸ்டர்னல் ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ், மற்றவங்களுக்கு வாய்ப்பு கொடுங்க, நிறைய திறமைசாலிங்க இருக்காங்க, அவங்க துறையில நிபுணத்துவம் பெற்றுறாங்க. ஸோ லெட்ஸ் கெட் த நியூ டேலண்ட்ஸ் டு ஸ்பீக். ஸோ தட்ஸ் வேர் ஐ ஸ்டார்டட் இன்வைட்டிங் ஸ்பீக்கர்ஸ், நாட் only from Malaysia, also from Singapore, India, right, US, even Australia, right? So we had speakers from all over the globe, and of course, not only one particular country benefited, there are at least 15 countries benefited, right from Malaysia, Singapore, Bangladesh, Thailand, US, Canada, even Australia, New Zealand, right? So we had at least 250 to 300 people benefited from the talk itself. And as you know, this is a Nagartar based talk show where we invite talents to share their passion, their achievement, all right, and what they have done, okay, so that they can inspire the newbies also. All right. So before we move on with the speakers for today, just few house rules for y'all. All right. First of all, just kindly mute your mic. You can on your camera, that is fine. All right, but kindly mute your mic. And later, after the discussion, okay, we will have a question answer session. So you can unmute your mic, you can ask question, or you can put it on the chat box also. All right, and I can take that question and ask the speakers. All right, or you can privately message me also. That is fine. All right, so you can do either way. You can unmute your mic, ask question, or you can put it on the chat box itself. All right, so as you know, in our life there are a lot of colors, just like the recent movie Navarasa, there are 9 different feelings, or emotions, right? So similar, you can also make it like colors. So each and every one of us life, we will have colors. All right, so today's speakers, they are also dealing with colors on daily basis. All right, on different segment, but on colors. All right, so varnangal சம்பந்தப்படி தான் அவங்க துறையை சார்ந்திருக்கு. All right, so who are those speakers? We have 2 young girls, budding entrepreneurs, I would say. The first speaker we have is, of course, Kalyani Jayabalan, all the way from Ipoh, Malaysia, and she's the founder of Food Journey with K. With K, yeah, that's right. And she bakes a sumptuous cake. All right, நான் கேக்குக்கு தமிழ்ல மொழி பெயர்த்தேன். ஸோ கூகுள் இனிப்பு அப்பம்னு வந்துச்சு. ஸோ சம்திங் லைக் தட், ரைட்? ஸோ she picks.
Hi, I like to interrupt. Cake is actually called anichal.
Anichal, okay, fantastic. That's a new word I learned today, so that's great. And our second speaker for today is Sivagami Murugappan, and she's from Penang, Malaysia, and she's the founder of CVA Makeup Therapy, right? And where she's a makeup artist. All right, so for ladies out there, all right, guys, I don't know, but for ladies, definitely she will do the makeup. She will make it even new, brighter, sharper, gorgeous, or whatever you want to say. All right, so looking at these 2 people, definitely they deal with colors every day. All right, so without much ado, put our hands together to welcome both the speakers, Kalyani and also Sivagami. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, so I know, for the audience, for those of you in Malaysia, there is a lot of a challenge going on nowadays, especially with the flood, there's continuous raining for the 2 days, all right? But nevertheless, we have a global pandemic or global war, I would say, which we haven't end, which is the coronavirus, all right? We are still facing that with new variants. So leave that apart. So next 1 hour, we will enjoy our speakers segment. Okay, so maybe we can start with Kalyani first. எப்படி இந்த பேஷன் ஆரம்பிச்சு உங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து?
Yeah, I would say the passion started because when I entered college, I wanted to explore food. Because when I was at home, we do have different kind of cuisine and all. But when I was at college, it was more to... That was the time that cafes and all that was coming up. So I wanted to explore food. So I started this page just for fun. So it was just for fun, and then I really like trying new kind of food, like all the time. So it was for fun, and then last year when MCO hit, I went back to baking because I didn't really have much to do. And I used to bake when I was in school, when I was like instead of 6 and instead of 5. That was only during like Deepawalis and things like that. So after that, like last year, and all my family members were back. So I thought like why not? Every tea time, like I'll go bake something and I'll give them to try, even if it's sometimes if it's a failure, they'll still eat. So yeah, I started baking from that, and I started exploring more into cakes, and my family members were like, why not you sell? Like yeah, so it started from there.
All right. So ஒரு விளையாட்டுத்தனமா ஆரம்பிச்சது, now it became serious and it doesn't only create sweetness in you, also in people around you. So it's fantastic. All right. So that's a good advice for the people around, those who are watching. If you have young girls or young guys, so you can start something fun. Who knows, they can become serious and you can make it as a career. All right. So let's move on with the Sivagami. So இது எப்படி ஆரம்பிச்சு இந்த passion உங்களுக்கு?
Okay, it all started when same as Kala, when I was in college in Subang. So that time, other than studying, I had some free time. So I wanted to occupy myself, and that is when I started exploring into new things like nail art, henna, makeup. But the other two, I didn't really, continue. But makeup is something that made me really happy. As the name says, I feel it feels like therapy. So that is how and after my degree, I thought I wanted to, take some courses. So I went to some makeup master classes, and I'm still going. So that is how I'm still learning. And after my degree, I went for the class. And after that, I started, having my Insta page and now I'm doing brides. So that is how it started. I just wanted to explore new things at that time. So Ipoh, I'm doing brides.
All right, fantastic. So something started with fun and now became serious. So that's great to know. All right. So Kalyani, because I understand இப்போ வந்து நீங்க பார்ட் டைமா செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கீங்க, so given a chance, would you do it full time, this baking?
I would do it full time, but as for now, I think I'm more focused on building my career, as in what I studied for first. Because but I do bake off and on. But not as frequent as I used to. But I would like to have a bakery one day, hopefully.
Wow, fantastic. That's great to know. So at least you have a goal, you have a dream.
Yeah, and also I might want to take up some courses in that, maybe culinary courses, and build my learning on that first.
All right, okay, that's great. So that's fantastic to know. So you are willing to take the risk, so that's great.
Yeah.
So, Sivagami, but now I understand you are doing it full time. So
yes, for now I'm doing it full time.
Yeah, so it's fantastic. But was that your aim to do full time?
No. After this, I would like to do it only part time because I'm trying to. I actually want to pursue my master's in clinical psychology. So I want to become a psychologist. So I think I'll be doing it part time. But it is always unpredictable. So let's see what life has in store for me. I'll go accordingly.
All right. So yeah, you'll cross the bridge when it comes. That's fantastic. But at least, both of you, the similarity is you have something, the passion in you, something for you to do, you want to achieve. So that's fantastic. All right. So that's great. So, Kalyani, back to your baking, right? When you started with fun, of course, now it became serious. But ஆரம்பத்துல, what are the challenges that you face? ஏதாவது தடங்கள் and how you overcame it?
I think I didn't face much of challenges like external challenges. Maybe the part that learning how to bake, like I had a lot of trial and errors. Like some would not even stand; it will just fall off like that. But I had my family supporting me. Even it fell off, like they said, it's tasty, so we'll just eat it somewhat, even if it's like powder or it's So external challenges, nothing. I would say nothing much, because like my family was like MCO. We were all at home, so they were all the time. They were just supporting me, and whatever I do, they just eat it. So.
Wow. Okay, that's great. So whatever you do, they eat. So anything, at least you tried. So that's the important thing. So there's always an error. There's always points of improvement, and you improve. So that's where you are now, right? So that is on baking. So that's fine. It's more on internal. But Sivagami, yours is more on meeting people, doing things for people. So that's a different kind of a challenge, right? So
yes,
maybe you can share with us some of that.
Okay, actually I am still facing lots of challenges, to be honest. So it's always very competitive. You have to keep up with makeup trends. It is changing daily. So you have to keep up with makeup trends. You have to keep up with the products, the techniques. Now they have airbrush and everything. So you have to keep up with the trends. And besides that, actually bridal makeup, you're not just dealing with the client, which is the bride. You have to face the fiance, you have to face the family. It is external actually, because they do play a part. So we have to be very professional in dealing with them. And because they do tend to give, opinions and everything, it's not only about the bride. And then after that, it's mainly social media pressure, because you have to keep up with that as well. You have to be, if for example, if you don't post for a few days, you tend to be forgotten, So you have to keep up with social media as well. So I think there are various challenges, like you have to be on the go. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, coming to social media, I've just shared both their pages on the chat box. So for those who are watching this, segment, so do go to that page and click like, at least, follow. All right, or if you want, just message them too. All right, so all their hard works are already there. You can see, there are few of them. All right, or not as a few, a lot. Okay, and சிவகாமி சொன்ன மாதிரி நம்ம பொண்ணுக்கு மேக்கப் போட்டு இருப்போம். ஸோ பொண்ணுக்கு பாய் ஃப்ரெண்ட் இருப்பாங்க, இல்ல பொண்ணோட மாமியார், இந்த மற்றவங்களெல்லாம் சமாளிக்கணும். ஸோ இந்த சுத்தி இருக்கிறவங்கள, ஏன்னா நம்மள தனியா வேலை பார்க்க விட மாட்டாங்க. ஸோ that's one challenge, right? But nevertheless, Sivagami still smiles and move on. So that's great. Okay, it's good. So Kalyani, நீங்க சொன்ன மாதிரி when you wanted to bake, your parents, your family members actually encouraged you, supported you, right? So the thing is that, how did they initially reacted when you say you want to do baking? Did they say like, இது பொண்ணோட வேலையா, உனக்கு தேவையாது?
I mean, baking பொண்ணோட வேலை தானே, கிச்சன்ல தானே. I mean, that's what they say, right? But then they actually didn't say much, because it started from home, you see. It's actually my brother and my dad who initially supported me, saying like they used to just pay me and get the baking goods just to support me and go and give their friends, and then from them I'll get more orders. Like,
right.
It started from home, like literally started from home. Like they used to, and my brothers used to deliver for me whenever I'm busy. And then when I'm baking late night, or I have like plenty of cupcake orders or what, my dad used to come in and he used to pour for me and help me out with the boxes, packaging. Yeah. And my mom is my taste tester. She'll come and critique me if it's something's like off a bit or something. If it's not neat a bit, she's like, இது கொஞ்சம் இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நீட்டா இருக்கலாம் and all that. Then yeah.
Wow. So very good. So you got an in-house critique.
Yeah. So it was like a family project lah. When I was doing, everyone was helping at that point of time. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, that's fantastic. Actually,
so there wasn't really anything against. They were actually really proud of it.
Oh, okay. That's really good, and really happy to know that your parents, especially your brothers, willing to deliver. Your mom is your first critic, giving you points of improvement. So that's fantastic. All right. So moving on to Sivagami, when you say you want to do makeup or bridal, right? What was your family or parents' reaction?
Okay, I think in that case, I'm truly blessed and gifted, because they are super supportive in what I do. Because, for example, when I do my bride's makeup and hair, my mother does the sari. She's the one who drapes the sari, so we do it, we do it together. And then my dad, he's also equally supportive. Even until now, he gets me books regarding hairstyling and everything. So he's equally supportive. And then my siblings are also very supportive. Like, for example, like last week, I had a Brahma Muhurtam bride. My sister, like mostly my siblings are the one who drop me when I have early morning bridal jobs. So in that case, I think I'm very blessed, because they're super duper supportive in what I do. So I think there's no issues about that at all.
Wow. I'm actually, this is one of the unique, stock that I've seen. Both the speakers' parents supports, being the main backbone for your success. So that's fantastic. It's quite unique to hear too. And of course, there's a mini marketing here. So Sivagami's mom does sari draping. All right. So if you have anyone who needs sari draping, yes, Sivagami's mom is there. Right. So I'm sure she's listening to the talk now also. All right. So, it has been a great, we have just started like 10 minutes ago, and a lot of interesting information and listening. Parent support started with the fun, and it's going on serious, and the challenges are there, but you're just moving on, right? So that's fantastic, and you keep improving. People give you inputs, critics, you just improve, right? That's great. So now let's move on to the financial side, or the money part, right? So எது ஆரம்பிக்கிறாலும் முதல்ல முதலீடு வேணும், காசு or பணம், whatever you say. So for Kalyani, how did you face, or how did you take that challenge, the financial challenge?
Yeah, financial challenge, I would say it wasn't much of a challenge because I had funds like from my intern and all that. But then my mom and my dad, they said, for the beginning, we already had an oven at home. So I just used that. And for the ingredients, it wasn't costly. So I just got it. And then, as I said, they actually started supporting me first by paying me and asking me to deliver out. And then slowly I started getting more and more orders. And yeah, it wasn't profitable at one point. Like, I mean, at the beginning, I would say, because like you need all the equipments and all the baking stuff and piping tips and all that. So it wasn't profitable at the beginning, but I did it for passion mainly.
Yeah.
I did it because I wanted to learn new things. So I got my things first, and then slowly, yes, it got fun, and yeah, I started earning it.
Oh, okay, that's fantastic. So at least the passion is there, so that's what makes sure it moved you, right? So that's great. அது நீங்க சொல்லும்போது ஒரு கோட் ஞாபகம் இருந்த மயக்கம் என்னல ஒரு கோட் வரும், தனுஷ் சொல்லுவாரு, நான் போட்டோகிராஃபரா இருந்துட்டு போறேன், ஆனா நான் பிச்சைக்காரனாவே இருந்துட்டு போறேன், ஆனா பிச்சைக்கார போட்டோகிராஃபரா இருந்துட்டு போறேன். So because that passion that he had on photography, right? So that's what he had. So it's fantastic. All right. So to move on to Sivagami, so did you face any financial issues at the beginning when you started?
When I started, makeup is definitely a huge investment because from scratch you have to get everything, including hairstyling tools, hairstyling products, makeup products, brushes, everything. But initially, my parents, my dad, funded me at the beginning. And I think, I personally think your passion doesn't have to pay you at the beginning because it's impossible. So with consistency, I think you just have to improve. You have to practice until you get to a point where it actually pays you. And with consistency, I think everything else will follow. So at the beginning, you have to invest. There's no choice. But I think with authenticity, passion, and consistency, you will get there one day. So you just have to, have faith. That's what I believe in.
Okay, fantastic. So yeah, three values that I learned: consistency, passion, and also faith. All right, so that's what making someone to move forward regardless whatever they have faced or challenges or whatever. All right, that's great. So coming to Kalyani, you have done a lot of bakings. I've gone through your pages. It's fantastic. A lot of although I never tasted your cake, but I can see from pictures it definitely looks sumptuous, right? It's great. What are the qualities or characters do you think that someone should have to become a leading entrepreneur, I would say?
Entrepreneur, I would say the main thing, he or she should be passionate and willing to work hard, like willing to work late nights or willing to put in their time at the beginning at least. Yeah, so they should be really passionate and they should know what they want and what they are doing, and they should also be willing to learn new things because now the environment in any industry is just moving very fast, so you have to keep up with it and you just have to start learning more and more. So yeah, I'd say you have to be a fast learner, passionate mainly.
Okay, oh, that's great to know. Yeah, passion, hard work, all right, and also continuous learning, all right? So that never ends, right? So Sivagami, would you like to add to this any other characters or things that you know?
Okay, I think when you start, I feel that if you want to start when you're ready, I think you can never start. So I guess that you have to just love what you do. Like for example, makeup, you just love what you do, and day by day you will eventually learn. For example, being professional. When you deal with your clients or brides, day by day you will learn how to be, professional, stern. At the same time, you have to be accommodating to their needs and requests since it's their big day after all. So I think you just have to love what you do. Everything else, like for example, patience, professionalism, like you need to be calm all the time because it's their big day. You can't be, it's the mood that you pass the mood to them. Actually, you have to be very calm and positive. So I think everything else can follow. You will improve day by day. So I think the main quality that you need is the love and passion for that field. That's it. The others you can learn.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Love and passion. So that's a crucial thing for here. And there's no such thing as a right time to start. So you should start at any time. All right. That's great to know. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are really learning from them. Although they are budding entrepreneurs, but a lot of good values that I personally learning from them. Right. It's great. So, இப்போ வந்து ஒரு இன்ட்ரெஸ்டிங் கொஸ்டின் ரெண்டு பேருக்கும். பொதுவா பொண்ணுனாவே என்ன சொல்லுவாங்கன்னா, ஓகே பொண்ணா படிக்கணும், படிச்சு முடிச்சாதான் கல்யாணம் பண்ணணும், கல்யாணம் பண்ணிட்டு அப்புறம் வந்து ஹேவ் அ கிட்ஸ், ஹேவ் அ ஃபேமிலி, ஓகே ஜஸ்ட் கோ ஆன், ஒரு ஸ்ட்ரக்சர் அப்படியே ஒரு ஃப்ளோலே போனோம். பட் யூ ஆல் came into a different path. All right. Kalyani came into baking, Sivagami came into makeup artist, kind of thing. So it's something which usually a Nagartar would not do. All right. So you all chose a different path. Right. So நான் முதல்ல சொன்ன மாதிரி அந்த the structure, or people say tunnel vision or mediocre mindset. What is your advice to people who thinks this way? Maybe you can start with Kalyani.
Yeah, I would say it's 21st century after all, so we should start letting some time off. Even though you are in a 9 to 5 career or what, if you want to take a break, I'd say you go take your break, find what you want to do. Like, because now it's all like unpredictable, you see, with the COVID and all. And so I say do what you love for now. Like, it's unpredictable, so not like you say 9 to 5 you're going to be successful and all, but not, right? So just go to take your time off, do what you want, do what you love, rather than not regretting it later.
All right, that's great. So do what you like now rather than regretting it later. So that's a great statement. So yeah, Sivagami, you want to add?
Okay, I think all this is purely, man-made. These timelines, there's I don't think there's any specific structure or there's a timeline. Before 25 you have to study. Before 30 you need to get married. I really have no idea who made all this up. But I think you just got to do what makes you happy without hurting others. That's the only thing. I think you can just follow what your heart wants to do. Just don't hurt others. That's the only thing. So I think all this is I don't think you have to take all this to your heart, all these structures, timelines and everything.
Okay, yeah, that's right. So மத்தவங்களுக்கு உபதிரவம் இருக்காம, so make sure you do what you like, right? So that's great. And I think the timeline was fixed by Kavinyar Wali in a movie Basha. 8 மனுஷன் வாக்கே பிரிச்சுக்கோ. So I think people are following that 8 and 8 and 8. All right. So that's great. So it's a great advice that you don't need to, there's no such thing as timeline for you. All right. So just do what you like. Okay, that's great. So of course now we have people who are watching, they have kids, we also have youngsters who are also watching you, budding entrepreneurs they could be. So let's say they want to get some advice from you. What would you advise them? Maybe we can start with Kalyani.
I would say if parents are able to fund them, please do so. Please encourage them to do what they want to do first. Like, okay, studies are equally important. If they are like slacking on studies, then don't go and like really push them or what, right? Just let them to do what they want to do. If they're good at both, let them do both. Like, there's nothing wrong. Yeah, it's just an extra income on their passion, so it's win-win. So yeah, it's from me.
Okay, that's great. Sivagami, your advice to the youngsters?
I think balance is everything. So I think if you can balance, for example, if you're doing like Kala, baking, if you can manage both, then that's the best thing you can do. Because why not, right? Like, after degree, maybe they want to go into that. So even regarding studies, you should study at the end of the day. For example, if your parents do not agree, you have to convince them, because I think that's something that you're going to do for the rest of your life, right? So you have to take that into your hand, convince them, and do the best in whatever you do. So at the end of the day, they will be convinced. So that's what I would like to say.
All right. Yep. That's great. Yep. So yeah, do again what you like, and I'm sure people will be convinced once you start achieving things, changes. They'll be great. All right. So coming to color, if there is a mentor for you who inspired you to come into this, who was that?
I wouldn't say I came into this because I was inspired. I originally started for fun, you see. So after coming into this, yes, I did have a lot of mentors like online through Facebook and through YouTube, and I learned a lot from them. Like I have this one page called Rosie's Dessert Spot. I used to watch all her videos. Like I literally learned from her. And then there's few bakers that I follow in Instagram that I try to recreate from them, and I try to learn from them and all that.
Okay. Wow, that's great. Yeah, I agree. So you must join people like-minded who have the similar path, a similar passion like you, and you exchange ideas. So so together you grow, right? So that's fantastic. All right. So to Sivagami, were there any mentors or guide for you who brought you to this level?
Okay. I think I always loved styling. But that started with my mother because I love the way she carries herself in saris and everything. So that is how it started. But makeup, I had a friend, because previously I hated makeup. So when I had a friend, she carries herself really well, and the way she dresses up and everything, that actually brought me into makeup because I followed her, to makeup stores and everything. That is how it started. But once I started, I have a few, established makeup artists who supports me, who I always turn to when I have doubts and everything. So that is how it started. So now I have a lot actually. I learned from them, like how to deal with clients and everything.
All right, that's great. It started with your mom, and now you started observing people around you. So that's great. You learn from them indirectly, right? So that's great. All right. So maybe continuing with that, Sivagami, what was your greatest achievement since you started this business?
Okay, I think greatest achievement, I think starting itself is an achievement. Starting, being in this field, I feel that itself, it's a kuti achievement. So, to be able to start, because this is a very new field and not everyone will take it up, right? So I think starting itself, but in the field, I wouldn't really say, because whenever I do a bride, I'm never satisfied, because I think that is when you learn a lot more. I usually, after every bride, I write down points like what can I improve and everything. That is how I learn. So I wouldn't say, I think to me, if you're better, from the previous day, I think that itself is an achievement.
All right. Oh, that's fantastic. So long you're better than yesterday, you're good.
That is an achievement, yeah.
That's great. That's fantastic. So for Kala, what was your greatest achievement since you started the baking journey?
Yeah, I think I would agree with Siva also. What I did yesterday is better than today. And every day is going to be getting better, and I'm going to learn new things, right? So I'd say another greatest achievement that I'll consider that as an achievement is when I was moving from Ipoh to KL, right? I wanted to bake here also. So buying a stand mixer and an oven by myself, buy the money from all the baking was one of my achievements, I'd say. Yeah.
All right. Wow. So setting up a mini bakery at your home.
Yeah.
All right.
Because I can't move the oven which is at home, right?
Mm-hmm.
The mom needs to use it, and I think buying myself one set of it was one of my greatest achievements. I got it from what I did from the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's great. So at least you developed yourself. I would say that's a great achievement.
I put the earning into something that I value.
Okay, that's good. All right, so there is a question here from the chat box. What is your future plans for the business? So maybe one of you can share. Siva, you want to go first? Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I think not now, but maybe it's a long-term goal. I would like to have my own place, like an own studio, where it is with my mother's sari boutique as well. So that is what I would like to achieve. And other than that, I feel doing bridal jobs, learning trends, and then keeping up with the trend, that itself, I think I didn't really plan, to be honest. I think I would just do like by the time, like I would just go with the flow. So I think future plans is just having my own space to work, and then just making my brides happy. Like that's the long-term goal.
All right. Well, that's great. Making the customers happy,
Yeah, making the brides happy since it's a big day. So I think
Mhm.
happiness is the first thing.
All right. That's great. So Kala, maybe you want to share your journey?
Yeah, my
future.
long-term goal, like for now, like what I've envisioned, or it might or might not go with the flow, but yeah, still like I want to own a bakery, or I want to be like at least a part-time baker, like where I go in like a place for myself, just bake. And baking is also like a stress reliever for me. Like my mom knows, like whenever I'm stressed at night, I'll be in the kitchen baking just for fun, but I won't be eating it. Yeah, I just go bake and leave it there. Whoever wants to help themselves. And so I would want to own a bakery, and I would want to balance my like my day job and baking at the same time in a more balanced way, because now when I get busy, I just don't go bake anymore because it consumes a lot of time.
All right. Yeah, I agree with that. So the time investment is also there, apart from financial. So that's great.
Because baking doesn't only come with baking, it comes with cleaning, washing, wiping, everything. So it's mess.
Yeah, I agree. People only see the output, which is the photo that you post, right? They don't know what you do after that. I agree with that. All right. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are going through some interesting questions and session with the speakers. So do take note, this session is recorded. So I'll upload this onto YouTube probably tomorrow, all right, once I edit this. All right. So if you have any other questions, do put it on the chat box. So we have another question here. How do you want to contribute to inspire budding entrepreneurs, more specifically in our Nagartar community? Maybe Siva, you want to start?
Nagartar community. I think, you mean inspiring budding, like?
Sorry, like youngsters, like maybe your age or people are younger than you.
Okay. To be honest, I don't think I'm at the stage yet to actually, I'm like to inspire. But one thing that I would say is, do not just fit into the stereotype. Like you do not have to, if you do not want to be, don't be a doctor, don't be an engineer, don't be a lawyer. Just don't be whatever you don't want to be. So I think you just have to follow your heart. Just do whatever that makes you happy and just venture into that field. For example, culinary arts. You can venture into that. You can venture into other fields. So I think you just don't have to fit into the stereotype. Like, you have to be a doctor and guys cannot do this, girls cannot do that. I think that also we have to, come over there. Like, we don't have to do that. So I think that's one thing that I would like to say.
All right, great. So the keyword I caught there was don't be what you don't want to be. All right, and that's a great statement. So fantastic on that. So again, follow your passion, follow your dream, follow your heart where it goes, right?
Yes.
So yeah. So Kala, maybe you want to share what are your advices?
I wouldn't say as well. I'm not like at that level to give advice or inspire, but I would be willing to help anyone who are interested in baking or whatever. Like if you want any like tips or want me to help you out in any kind of things, like I'm still learning also, but we can learn together. I'd say.
Okay.
True.
It's open for girls and boys. Yeah, I know boys who bake too, and they are very good bakers as well.
All right, that's great. Maybe another online session, specifically for baking.
Why not?
Great. Okay, we will take note on that. Okay, that's fantastic. So for Sivagami, okay, I think there's a specific question for you. Have you done makeup for Nagartar weddings? Do you face any additional pressure?
Okay. Nagartar wedding, no. Until now, no. But next year I would be doing.
Oh, okay. That's great. So someone already booked you then for next year?
Yes, for next year. Yes.
Okay,
So
fantastic.
I think this question I have to wait to answer.
Okay. So it's on the way.
Yeah,
Right.
on the way.
So, all right. That's fantastic. So for the Nagartas out there, so who are watching, so she has accepted some booking. So please go
I'm
and book
more
her.
than happy to accept.
So as you know, because of the COVID, pandemic, and a lot of weddings were postponed, so the calendars are pretty tight. So please go and book her now, all right? So otherwise, someone else will, hijack her. Okay. So maybe Kalyani, just a a unique question for you, because when I go through your Instagram profile or pages, right?
Okay.
எல்லாம் சாப்பாடு சம்பந்தப்பட்டதா இருந்துச்சு, right from the beginning till the end. So it looks like apart from baking, you're basically a food lover, I think, and that's what brought you to baking. Can I say that?
Yeah, I'm very much of a food lover. I love to try different kinds of food, and definitely Indian, Malaysian food. I'm always up for desserts. So everyone who knows me knows that I love food.
All right, okay. It's a foodie, so that's what they call, right? The foodie.
Yeah.
It's great. Okay. So maybe for Sivagami, this another interesting question. When I go through your pictures and profile, right? எல்லாம் மகளிர் சம்பந்தப்பட்டது இல்ல பெண்கள் சம்பந்தப்பட்டது the makeup that you do, only for girls. Were there any chance if a guy approaches, okay, I want a makeup, would you try that?
Okay, actually there were a few, but personally, I don't really recommend makeup for guys, only hairstyling, because makeup, males tend to sweat a lot more, especially, like during weddings, temple weddings, the heat and everything, makeup would melt for them. They are also not used to it. So personally, I wouldn't recommend makeup to males at all. So that is why I do not take up the request. So I do not recommend makeup for them.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's something new for me to learn. Because usually I know the Bharatanatyam dancers, they will put on makeup for
yes,
guys.
I think because for Bharatanatyam, it is compulsory. But for weddings, I wouldn't really recommend, because it's like a whole day thing. And for stage makeup for Bharatanatyam, it is, very far distance. You wouldn't really see it. But in weddings, it will be very obvious that they are sweating and the makeup is melting. So I really wouldn't recommend.
Okay. Because, we watch a lot of Vijaykanth movie, right? So obviously we know how the makeup works. Right. So that's fantastic. Okay. So for the audience, is there any other questions for girls here? Right. There's a lot of interesting segments going on, and we are learning a lot today. Right. Don't be what you don't want to be. Follow your heart. Just start. There's no such thing as right time. Right. And start small. Utilize whatever you see around you. Right. And then you can start developing things. So that's what I'm learning. Right. That's fantastic. Right. So maybe this for Sivagami, let's say if an artist would approach you, would there be a dream artist that you want to put the makeup on?
Like a celebrity?
Yeah, correct.
This is just like Karpana, dane?
Correct.
The one person that I would love to work with, I think it would be a bit too much, but it's Nagartar.
Wow. Okay. That's good.
But this is purely imagination. I don't think it would ever happen. But this is what I know. Because I see her as an inspiration. So I think number one is Nagartar.
Okay. Wow, that's good.
But purely imagination, please quote that.
Right. Who knows, it can happen. It can become reality in future, right? Who knows? Because the reason why I'm saying this, the previous session, Beginning of Panic 28, the photographer, she had the aim to capture Vijay Sethupathi. Of course, her dream hasn't realized yet, but she has already captured the heroines of Vijay Sethupathi. So she's getting there, I would say, right? So that's great. So long you have that end, you are getting there, that's good. All right. So maybe Kalyani, I'm watching MasterChef. Recently, I watched also the Indian MasterChef, Tamil MasterChef, right? So if were given a chance, would you try those kind of a situational competition, reality competition?
Yeah, I would definitely. I'm since young, I've been watching Food Network. That's my favorite channel, like forever. There's this one show called Restaurant Impossible. Like that's my favorite show. All the time when I sit for dinner or what, I will be watching that. And there's MasterChef, and there's few baking shows also, baking competitions. Like I'll be hooked up on that. My mom will be like, please change the channel. We need to watch something else as a family, you see. So I always had this dream, which I don't know, but I want to go on Food Channel, like Food Network, that channel specifically, at least once. Yeah. Wow. I just want to be featured there.
Okay, wow, that's fantastic, and that's a valid, aim or ambition, I would say. It's great. So there's a question here, maybe, this following from Sivagami's statement. So, every week you must do a posting, otherwise no news is like bad news. kind of thing. All right. So how often you must post on our social media? Maybe Sivagami, you can recommend.
Okay. Actually, I'm not very sure about the algorithm because it keeps changing. But as far as I know, you have to post at least 2 days once. But don't bombard them with posts. For example, you can't just post 3 or 4 posts at one row. It's just maybe 2 days one you have to post, and then stories you can come live once a week. That is what I learned. But I'm not sure whether it's optimal enough. Yeah. At least 2 days once.
All right. So yeah, as you know, the social media, you have Instagram, you have Facebook, you have Twitter, all right, and going live, that is one way. You have YouTube, you can go Instagram live, Facebook live, all right. So you have various channels. So there's no need nowadays for you to wait for the opportunity. You can create one, right?
Yeah, I would like to add on, and I'd say you need to learn how to take pictures and put it on your feed, because how your feed looks also depends. And I'm still working on that. Mine isn't as great. I know better ones. Yeah, there is few pages on social media itself where you can follow and learn how to do that. Like there's food photography and all those kind of pages. Like how you arrange your food and how you take pictures of it. It also matters. Like that's when you get views and people will notice you.
Okay. Wow, that's a good tip.
I would like to add on as well. Sure. Now I think reels are the most important. I forgot about that. I think if you want to get the most reach, you have to do, for example, makeup, you have to do the process, the reels and everything. So I think optimal way is to post reels more than other things.
The process of making it or doing it. But it takes a lot of time where you need to edit, cut, edit, paste. Like there's a lot of things.
All right. Okay, that's good. All right. Of course, the editing part, it takes time,
Like we are not like IT professionals or whatnot, right?
That's right. Okay. Well, that's a good tip, So of course you need a good either phone or a camera or a good camera person, right? A cameraman, I would say, right, to capture those moments. That's great. All right. So this for Sivagami specifically, how does psychology contributes to your makeup therapy?
Okay, psychology. I think you learn a lot of things because psychology, you learn about people, why they behave in a certain way. So I think it really helps me when I deal with brides, because at the end of the day, you would be, you will learn how to be a people person. You will learn how to communicate with them in a professional manner. And I think that really helps because psychology, you learn a lot about humans. So I think that is the main thing. So you keep improving on that, I think. So it really helps. It really helps when you deal with clients because makeup is also very people oriented. Psychology and makeup are very people oriented. So I think it really works together.
All right. Yeah, that's really true. People management is important. Customer relationship, stakeholder relationship. It's great. Especially when you have someone watching you from behind, the maapla, mamiyar vidu. So that's very important, right? Okay, so there's another question here for Kalyani. There's a huge competition when it comes to bakery. How do you think you can stand out among the rest?
Yeah, I think for that question, you have to start off with your small circle first. And of course, it has to be good so that they'll like it and they'll tell more people. And specifically, what I do is I only bake eggless. Vegetarian, because my dad and my grandparents are all vegetarians. So I thought, why not I would cater something according to them, like everyone would enjoy it, Like when I put something like I make brownies or what with eggs or what, right? Only my brothers and my mom can enjoy it. My dad will be like, why not bake something without egg? So I started exploring more on the eggless side. So I think that's my specific thing that I bake without eggs. So everyone can enjoy it, yeah.
All right, okay. They always say when you have a product, you must have a uniqueness. So eggless cake is very unique. So
and also in the Nagartar community, I'm pretty sure most of the old people are vegetarian.
Yeah, that's right. Being health conscious and vegetarian, that's good. And of course, it's universal. You can have it any period. Either during prayers or whatever. Can still have it, right? So it's great. All right. So that's something good which is unique. So your business or your brand must be unique, right? It's good. All right. So guys, if you have any question, all right. So there's one more here. What is your signature product that you would recommend us to try from you? This for Kalyani.
I would say my butter cake is like really good. Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I didn't say that myself. My family likes it. Like they really like it, and yeah.
Okay. So guys out there, butter cake. Next time when you meet Kalyani, please request for butter cake. Right. Okay. So yeah, there's another question here. Any Nagartas requested service for free? Any comments on that? I think this would apply for Sivagami because, of course you need to charge. There's a cost there, but people ask for free, right? Sometimes. So what do you have to say about that?
I have not encountered that, but
Okay.
I don't think it's fair because, you are at the end of the day, like, there is a lot of investment, time, effort, products. So I don't think it is fair to request anything for free because at the end of the day, you are spending your time and, business is business, right? After all. So I think it's really not fair, personally.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, you're putting in the effort, the time, the investment is there.
Yes.
Okay.
And for weddings, you have to wait in between for the second change and everything. So I think it's really not fair. You're spending like half of your day for one bride.
Okay. Yeah, I agree with that. And you start your day very early,
Yes.
I've been to one of the wedding where, the ponnu started makeup at 4 a.m. Yep. So because the muhurtam was around 9 a.m.
Last week, I started makeup at 10 because she needs to be ready at 2 in the morning. It's Brahma Muhurtam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So that's challenge, right?
Yes.
So guys, of course, you can give a good quality service, additional services, but the things that, of course, it's not for free, right? That's important, right? So that's good. So yeah, for those who are watching, the things that how you support is, of course, to give business. But if you accept them to give you for free, then there's no way for them to develop themselves, right? So obviously, this is how we can support them, right? So of course they can have some additional packages, that is fine. But having it for free entirely, it's definitely not practical, or it's not logic at all, right? That's great. So there's a question here for Sivagami again. Any specialty in your makeup, or do you do for various races? Because from your Instagram, I think it's only for Indian wedding.
Yes. Or if I'm given the opportunity, I would be more than happy to work with various races. But I think by seeing my feed, mostly Indian brides are the ones who approach me. So I think I would love to work with them. But for now, so far I've only worked with, for Hindu weddings. So far it is only that.
All right. So hope we can have more church-based weddings.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Or even the Chinese ways, the tea ceremony, right? Okay. That's great. Okay. So yeah. So while waiting for the rest, we're having some interesting segments today. Sessions. A lot of good points and good values that the speakers are sharing. All right. So maybe Sivagami, I want to touch on this business partnering. So முதல்ல சொன்னீங்களா, you are actually so-called like joint venture with your mom. Your mom does the sari draping, you does the makeup. So there is like a joint venture here. So do you think this joint venture is important, or you can do solo without anyone tying up?
Okay. I think I believe I'm not very confident when it comes to sari draping. I can. Okay. For example, if I had a bride in JB, so that I went alone and did it. But other than that, my mother does the sari draping. And especially for Kurai change, where I change my bride's accessories, the hair, the flowers and everything, I think it's a little difficult for me to even drape the sari for my bride. So that is how we work together. I think it makes things easier and more convenient. So yeah.
Right.
I haven't really done it alone, until now.
Okay. Yeah. But of course, with a crucial time, right? Because
and
let's say from 10 to 2.
10-15 minutes for the change, so it's a bit difficult.
True, that's right. So yeah, rather than having people like your competitors, it's better you joint venture, be a partner with them. So at least everyone grows, right? So that's great. So yeah, looks like Kala, you got an order now already. So how to order cake from you? So I think guys, go to the Instagram page.
You can definitely order through me from my Instagram page. But right now it depends where I am also. Because during weekends and long holidays, I tend to go back home to Ipoh. Yeah, if I'm in here, I'm more than happy to take y'all. And also during weekends, if I'm in KL, yes, I would love to. And you can always like text me through my Instagram and my phone number if you all have. Like I think most of the Nagartars in KL and Ipoh do. Yes.
At least they will definitely know your ayah or your apachi, right? So definitely no issues. All right, that's great.
Yeah, they'll be more than happy to ask me to date them.
Okay, that's fantastic. All right, so right after the session, so please do bug Kalyani, if you want sweet cakes. And yes, butter cake is her signature cake, right? So yeah, there's another question for Sivagami here. Do you have bridal packages, makeup for bridesmaid along with sari draping?
Okay. I don't pick up bridesmaid makeup along with bridal makeup, because when I'm doing my bride, I love to focus on them fully. Like that 4 hours is only for my bride and her whole entire look. So I do not provide packages together with that. If it's my bride, it's entirely for only my bride. So no, there's no packages together.
All right, okay, that's good. Because some people will feel that, okay, since you're working with your mom also, maybe both of you can join and offer a package. Maybe that can be
Okay,
more,
for my
I think,
bridesmaid, my mother usually, for example, there was like four bridesmaids. My mother drapes the sari, but since I focus on the bride, I don't do the hair and makeup. So if it's only for sari, then my mother does.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So guys, do take note, she only does for bridal, not for the bridesmaid. So bridesmaid, you need to get another makeup artist. Right. Okay. So yeah, we are having some interesting sessions here. So if you have any other questions, you can always unmute and ask it directly to the speakers, or you can always put it in the chat box and we can handle this from here. Right. So there's another interesting question here for Sivagami. So those days, makeup is all about making someone look fairer, to be in dark or fair skin. But these days is many ways to make them brown skin glow more, look natural. So can you do that?
Okay, for me, I personally feel that brides should look like themselves, but only enhanced.
Okay.
So I pick the foundation shade that is closest to their skin tone. For me, it's just about the bridal glow and the enhancement and the hair. So I do not make them fair or I do not make them dark. It's at the end of the day, they just look like themselves, but in an enhanced version. That's about it. Because I believe that I only do subtle makeovers, which I focus on the glow only. Yeah, it's all about the glow.
All right. Okay, that's good. Maybe they were thinking, like the movie Sivaji, right, where Rajinikanth will come like a white man. So maybe they expecting you to transform someone to be like a white lady.
Okay, if someone is dark and I put some light foundation, it would look good for some time. But after sweat and after the girl, for example, the bride sweats and everything, it will look very grayish. So it makes things worse. So I do not do that at all.
Okay. All right. So that's good. So keep up to the original tone, right?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, that's great. Okay. So yeah, there's another question here. Any words for encouragement for youth to take up the business? Maybe Kalyani, you can start first.
I would say just start off with what you have first. You can slowly build on having all the other equipments and all that. Like baking, you need a lot of piping tips and all that. I'd say just start off with simple, like maybe 1 or 2 first. Just whatever you have at home. You don't need to go specifically find for that ingredient or that thing. You can always substitute. If you don't have something, just find for substitutes, what you can substitute it with. From that, you actually learn a lot. So just go with what you have.
All right, that's great. Go with what you have and find substitutes. Go for alternative solutions. So basically becoming creative, right? Rather than having a single way moving through. That's good. All right. So any advice from you, Siva?
Just like I think Kala said, you just have to start. Just start.
Okay.
And then after that, you can, improvise. For example, like your lighting equipment. For example, you can start out with, your phone, taking pictures from your phone. Then you can get into, DSLR and everything. Because at the end of the day, pictures, speak for themselves, like the pictures and videos. So it matters. But when you start, I don't think you can, afford all that, because you still have to, invest in your like makeup products, your hairstyling tools. So I think you just have to start. After that, it will, you will develop over time.
Okay. That's great. Yeah, I think in addition to that, there's someone asking you for beauty tips. If you have any.
Beauty tips, like specifically.
Those days they will always say, and the rose powder இருந்தா போதும் அது போட்டுக்கிட்டா கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும். Would there be
Beauty
anything?
tips. I think it all starts from within. Drink lots of water.
Okay.
So I think that itself will give you the glow. Stay hydrated. But other than that, I think skincare plays an important role, because for the makeup to sit, your base has to be proper. So you have to take care of your skin, and then makeup will look good. You just have to learn the techniques and everything.
All right. Okay, that's a good beauty tips. Be hydrated. So that is important.
Stay hydrated.
Right. Okay. That's great. All right. So yeah, we are having some interesting sessions here. So yeah, it's almost going to be 1 hour session soon. Okay, so just for the audience benefit, so let's say if you have any other suggestions for the speakers, do let me know. All right, so the thing is that it's not that I'm just focusing on youngsters. I can also get people from middle age or a senior age, so long they can share their knowledge and experience. All right, so today we definitely have something new ideas, I would say, because new industry, new passion, and of course youngsters doing it. And as one of the advisors said, don't be what you don't want to be. All right, so that's great. Okay, and follow your heart. There's no right time. Okay, so yeah, maybe any final words from you girls. Maybe Siva, you can start.
Final words. I think just do you for you. I think that's what I would like to say. Just be you, be authentic, be original, because I think that's your superpower, right? So just be that, everything else will follow.
Okay, that's fantastic. Be original, things will happen, right? It's great. So yeah, Kalyani, any final words from you?
I'd say do it now rather than regretting it later.
Great, that's good. All right.
And also, it doesn't only apply to youngsters. Anyone from any age can actually start up doing it if they want to.
Okay, that's good. So yeah, if you are homemaker, working mom, if you want to take up baking or makeup, do contact these girls. They can also coach you or guide you, right? That's great. So for the audience, if you want to contact them, I've already put the Instagram link, so do reach out to them. Their hard works are already there, all the pictures are all there, so you can check it out. All right, and of course they are also active, as what Siva said, every week she'll be posting something, so you will see something from her. Okay, so that's important. And apart from that, for the audience, if you have any other suggestions, suggested topics, suggested speakers, do let me know. All right, I will reach out to them. Okay, so because my aim is to try to get more new faces out, and of course make it like a normal evening talk, right? Nagartar's based talk show. All right, and people sharing about their expertise, their passion and stuff. All right, so with that, for the girls, thank you very much for your time. It was definitely a great pleasure having both of you. Of course, for Siva and Kalyani, I've been trying to get them not only for the past 1 month, I think probably for the past 6 months. It's just that we didn't get the right time, but at least we made it. All right, just before 11 days before the year ends, we had some great sessions with you all, so that's fantastic. And as you know, this is session 29, so we are reaching almost to the session 30, all right, soon. All right, and as you know, since the day started, we already introduced 35 speakers overall, all right, from all 4 continents. So that's something I would say remarkable itself. And thanks for all your supports that you have given. All right, a lot of moral supports that you have been giving me. So that's what making me to move forward with the new sessions every time. All right, so my aim is at least to make it at least 3 weeks once. So fingers crossed till today is happening. All right, except for major celebrations, then I'll give a break. All right, so with that, thank you very much to both the speakers. All the best to you for your future endeavors. And for the audience, be safe. For those who are in Malaysia, hope you are still safe. With the flood is going on, so with the rainy season, so please be safe. And for the rest of you from around the world, the war is not end yet. The pandemic is still there till it becomes endemic, so we still need to be safe. All right, so with that, do take care. Have a great weekend ahead. Thank you.